The Story of the King and the Slave Girl, from Rumi's Masnavi. The beginning. The king falls in love. Once upon a time, there was a powerful and wealthy king. One day, while traveling through his kingdom, he came across a caravan. Among the people in the caravan, he saw a beautiful slave girl. The moment he laid eyes on her, he fell deeply in love. Unable to resist his emotions, he immediately purchased her for a great price and brought her to his palace. The slave girl falls ill. The king loved the girl dearly and did everything to make her happy. However, after some time, the girl became ill. Her face lost its color, her body grew weak, and she was constantly in pain. The king, deeply troubled by her illness, summoned the best doctors from across his kingdom. They examined her and gave her various medicines, but nothing worked. The girl's condition worsened, and the king felt helpless. Desperate and heartbroken, the king turned to God for help. He went to a secluded mosque, raised his hands in prayer, and wept bitterly, saying,
"Oh God, you are the healer of all diseases. I have tried everything, but I cannot cure her. You know what is hidden from our eyes. Please guide me to the solution."
A divine physician appears. The king prayed for hours until he fell asleep. In his dream, a divine voice spoke to him.
O king, tomorrow a holy physician will come to your palace. Accept him, for he is sent by God, and he will heal the girl.
The next morning, a man with a radiant face and an aura of wisdom arrived at the palace. The king, recognizing that this was the divine physician from his dream, welcomed him with great respect and took him to the slave girl, the hidden cause of the illness. The physician sat beside the girl, checked her pulse, and spoke gently to her. His divinely gifted wisdom allowed him to see the real cause of her illness. After a moment, he turned to the king and said,
"This is not a physical illness. The girl is suffering from the pain of separation. She is in love with someone else, and her heart is longing for him."
The king was shocked. He looked at the girl and gently asked her the truth. The girl, unable to hide her feelings any longer, lowered her head and confessed,
"I was in love with a goldsmith from the city of Samarkand. I was taken away from him, and my heart has been aching ever since."
The physician's plan. The physician turned to the king and said,
"If you wish to heal her, bring the goldsmith to the palace."
The king immediately sent messengers to Samarkand with generous gifts, asking the goldsmith to come. Tempted by the riches and unaware of the plan, the goldsmith gladly accepted the invitation and traveled to the king's court. When the girl saw her beloved, her face lit up, and her health improved almost instantly. The king, seeing her happiness, welcomed the goldsmith warmly and allowed him to stay close to the girl. However, the wise physician had a secret plan, one that would free the girl from her unhealthy attachment and guide her toward true love and wisdom. The goldsmith begins to wither. The physician gave the goldsmith a special potion that slowly weakened his body over time. Day by day, the once handsome man lost his charm. His face became pale, his body frail, and his energy faded away. At first, the girl was overjoyed to be reunited with him, but as time passed, she noticed the change. The man who once seemed so attractive became weak and sickly. His beauty faded, and so did the girl's passion for him. Eventually, the goldsmith fell gravely ill and passed away. The slave girl's transformation. At first, the girl mourned his death. However, the wise physician comforted her and began to teach her about the true nature of love. He explained that
The love she had felt for the goldsmith was not real love. It was only an illusion. True love is not found in worldly attachments, but in divine love, the love of God.
over time her heart was purified and she became free from her unhealthy desires. She found inner peace and wisdom, realizing that true love is eternal and beyond the limitations of the physical world. The king, too, learned an important lesson, that sometimes we must let go of our worldly attachments to find true peace and happiness. Moral and spiritual lessons of the story. First, earthly love versus divine love. The story teaches us that earthly love is temporary and often deceiving, while divine love is eternal and pure. 2. Suffering as a path to growth. The slave girl's pain and heartbreak were not punishments, but a necessary journey to free her from illusion and lead her to wisdom. 3. The role of a spiritual guide. Just as the physician helped the girl overcome her attachment, a spiritual teacher, a wise guide, is essential in helping us navigate our emotional and spiritual struggles. The illusion of physical beauty. The goldsmith's beauty faded, and so did the girl's love for him. This teaches us that true love is not based on appearance, but on a deeper spiritual connection. 5. God's hidden wisdom. At first, the girl thought she was suffering because she lost her beloved, but in reality, her suffering led her to a greater truth. What seems like a loss is often a hidden blessing. Conclusion. This is one of Rumi's most profound and beautiful stories. Through the tale of the king, the slave girl, and the divine physician, Rumi teaches us that real love is not found in fleeting desires, but in the eternal connection with God. True happiness comes when we detach from illusions and embrace divine wisdom. This story reminds us that every hardship, loss, or heartbreak can be a step toward spiritual awakening if we open our hearts to learning and growth.